We are all familiar with the incredibly well-known adage, change is the only constant in life. But is it really simple to accept, adapt, and embrace change? Hi Di, how are you? Pallabi Di, happy morning. Hi Di, look, I've made a drawing for you. Di, do you remember? It's my birthday day after tomorrow. Yes, I had walked into my grade 3 classroom. A classroom of 35 super energetic, highly enthusiastic 7 to 8-year-old kids. As they greeted and shared, I responded to each one of them individually. Their bright smiles, their happy faces, their cheerful greetings was my source of daily inspiration, optimism, my smile, and my happiness quotient. It was a regular school day. And how is a regular school day? It is the sound of children greeting each other and their teachers as they enter the classroom. It is the sound of the hustle and bustle of the teachers and students in the corridor. It is the sound of children reading in their classrooms. It's the sound of an interesting classroom discussion happening. It's the sound of a teacher giving instructions. It's the sound of the children joyfully playing on the playground. It's the sound of the bell ringing after every class, and much more. Well, let's just say that there's never a dull moment in the day. I'm always on my toes. I cultivate various levels of curiosity in my children such that they take the responsibility and the onus of their own learning. I impart concepts in such a way that most children, or rather all children in my class, must be able to grasp it. And not only grasp it, but also apply it in real life scenarios. I promote or stimulate the principles and values of modesty, humility, gratitude, kindness, thankfulness, and empathy. I strive every day to inspire and motivate every child to do a little more, to go that extra mile, to go above and beyond and accomplish more. On January 30, 2020, the first cases of COVID-19 were reported in India. By March 4th, another 22 cases were reported. Schools were immediately declared closed. Unexpectedly, receiving a brief break felt great. No rushing to school, no waking up early in the morning, a break from the constant hum, the buzz of the school, a break from the daily usual workload. I was enjoying. But deep under me, or inside me, there was a restlessness. I just couldn't help myself but feel uneasy. On the evening of March 24th, 2020, a complete lockdown was declared in the entire country for the duration of 21 days. Just 21 days. Question of just 21 days. And yet, as the days passed, my restlessness started to increase. My uneasiness grew. Now, I began to miss my daily routine. I began to miss my children, my classroom, my colleagues, my school. Most importantly, my work. There was no routine, no structure in my day anymore. I was feeling aimless and disoriented. It felt as if I was losing my identity, myself. I was scared, terrified. I was also worried for my 9-year-old daughter. Tall, thin, short hair, always happy, ready to go out and play at the drop of her hat. But now, she was at home with me. no school. Going out and playing with friends, out of question. No cycling, no swimming. All her favorite activities were stopped. Seeing her going purposelessly from one room to the other, trying to find something to keep her busy, was disappointing, at times depressing. As worried I was for my daughter, I was also worried about my students. My children used to spend approximately 7 hours of their day at school. We were like a family, sharing, caring, doing things, learning, and growing together. How were they adapting to this abrupt change in their routine? Were they able to express themselves to their parents? Could parents make the time to listen to them? How were they spending their time? What were they doing at home? Were they feeling valued or lost? I wanted to reach out to my children. I wanted schools to restart. I wanted to return back to my regular school days. However, soon the lockdown got extended, and reopening of schools physically started to look like a distant dream. Most other industries by now had gone online. But was it really possible for schools to go online? After all, schools thrive on human touch, the physical peer-to-peer bonding, the face-to-face interaction between a teacher and a student, the in-person teaching, the one-on-one attention given to every student. How could all of this go online? It was unfathomable. And yet, there is this very popular quote which says, any transition serious enough to alter your definition of self will require not just small adjustments in your living and thinking, but a full-on metamorphosis. Schooling, teaching, and learning was facing the need of a complete metamorphosis. Schools did go online. The unfathomable became the new normal. Online school required a total change in teaching methodologies and strategies. For few of my colleagues, the journey actually started from learning to work on a laptop. Unfortunately, a lot of instructors in the country chose to quit or take a sabbatical because of the struggles and difficulties that they were facing. The shift from a simple whiteboard or a black or a green board to a laptop screen proved to be immensely challenging and perplexing. But the day came when students and teachers joined online classes. And yes, I was happy. Happy to see my children, happy to interact with them, even though it was on a screen. My students were happy too. Together, we were on cloud 9. And then started quite a few teething problems. I felt at times unsure. I was at times apprehensive. I was even diffident to enter my online class. My children were finding it difficult to settle down, focus, and grasp concepts on this online medium of teaching. Yes, it was a difficult phase, a difficult change. I braced myself and started upgrading my classroom management strategies and approaches. Technology became my best friend. I started honing and sharpening my edtech skills. Yes, it required long hours of extensive training, researching, studying, learning, unlearning, finding out more, till I could find effective ways in which I could successfully facilitate a class wherein my children were more settled, more focused, and definitely more learning oriented. Thus began my journey of online teaching. How was it? Well, honestly, I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I was teaching a class of 35. Now, I was teaching a class of 70. No, the number of students did not increase, but the number of viewers did. I was suddenly a part of many families' living room and few families' bedroom. I was being observed, not only observed, at times judged. And on occasions, I was advised on how I could conduct a better class. I felt self-conscious, nervous, sometimes edgy, and anxious. All of this led to me to start preparing harder for my classes. My lesson plans went through a sea of change. With experience, I realized that the right balance or the harmonious mix of traditional, innovative, value-based, and progressive education helped me make a difference in my class. I could take more engaging and more effective classes. Now that I was feeling a little confident, I also started conducting few activities, and then more activities, and then events, and even a big show online. With conviction and determination, not only did I win the trust of my class parents, but also I enrolled them and involved them in this new way of teaching and learning. I reached out to them to ease their anxieties and doubts about this online mode of learning. Constructive feedback was shared, and together we evolved as each other's strength. We started working like partners with one sole objective: the progress and development of our children. COVID was at its peak by then. Many family members were getting affected. Some children were also getting positively diagnosed with the virus. Though classes had started, and yes, I was meeting my children online, yet children were isolated at their homes. I turned into a trustworthy companion, a confidante. I started calling my children in the evening and simply talking to them and listening to anything that they wanted to share. I convinced them to stay strong, stay safe, stay patient, and wait for the difficult days to pass. Finally, after a wait of 2 long years, the coronavirus vaccination was available. Most of us did get ourselves doubly vaccinated. The cases reduced, and yes, schools reopened. The academic year of 2022-23 started with students happily returning back to school. Now, it was time for me to transition back to offline schooling. And will this change be easy? Perhaps not. But that is not the right question. The question is, will the change be worthwhile? And the answer is yes, absolutely. This is my story. And who am I? Well, according to many, I'm just a teacher. According to me, I am privileged to be a teacher. I'm here to raise a group of creative, independent, incisive, informed, innovative bunch of students who can contribute to this society and make this world a better place for not only themselves, but generations to come. I have taken the responsibility of illuminating the path that will help each child to live a more fulfilling, a more rewarding, a more meaningful, balanced, happy, wealthy, and healthy life. Yes, I am a teacher. Thank you.